5 things you need to do in your life before buying luxury goods. Nowadays, you are marketed luxury goods and all sorts of goods every single minute, every single second of your day. You see ads on social media, on TV, on the street, somebody tells you something. So we are pre-programmed to want all of those things. And I want you to be smart and to accomplish these 5 things before you start spending your money on luxury things. And hello everyone, my name is Tania and I am an investor in luxury bags and I love luxury things and buy luxury things, and I wish I knew those 5 things that I needed to do before I started spending my money on luxury and not necessary material things. And if after this video you still want to buy material things, then for sure subscribe to my channel, give me a follow on Instagram, because I will give you the best luxury investment tips. I will warn you about how to not waste your money buying luxury things and how you can save wherever you can. Now let's wind back to where you need to be in your life before you consider buying luxury bags, watches, jewelry, clothes, shoes, so on. Because I have made some of these mistakes, and even though I am fine, I was not always fine, and when I started buying luxury things, I kind of prioritized them over some other important things that one should achieve before spending so much money on material things. So I really hope that you are smarter than I was, let's say 10 years ago. You take this advice and that will set you up for a very smart, financially stable life going forward. Number 1, get out of debt. Let me clarify, if you've got student loans or if you've got loans from the banks or credit card debt, make sure that you cover that first and that you pay for all of that before splurging on luxury things. Now that may seem obvious to you, and I am starting with that as that number 1 big rule, because I see people buying things that they cannot afford instead of paying down their credit card debt, which is crazy because credit cards, they charge you such high interest rates. So that please, if you have 2 of these kinds of debts, by all means pay that first before you start buying luxury items. Number 2, and this is kind of controversial, I want to say either rent or buy your own home and make sure that you can do that comfortably. I know that some people don't believe in buying homes. I believe in buying homes. I know that some of you have read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and where the author is saying that essentially a house is liability and not an asset. I do think that maybe paying rent is sort of like a little bit throwing the money away, because I would rather invest in a home and maybe even make some improvements in the home. This is what I did with my last house, and I personally believe that this is a sound financial decision. And you gotta be able to cover your living expenses, such as food, place to live, the car to drive, and all of these things comfortably before looking at spending, thousands of dollars on luxury stuff. Number 3, have a good investment portfolio. While these handbags that you see are Hermes bags, they are not a bad investment if you buy the right bags, and if you were to resell, they would be good investments. They're still not as liquid as, let's say, you own a portfolio of stocks, some more traditional forms of investments. I'm not the best investment advisor. I just would recommend to have an investment portfolio before you start splurging on luxury items. If you don't know anything about investing, I recommend looking for an investment advisor. They're really popular for all different levels of, your income, and picking the investment advisor that you resonate with and that you're comfortable with to make sure that you actually have a highly liquid investment portfolio that is recognizable by, major banks, and in general is like a more safer investment than, let's say, a house and an Hermes bag. Number 4 is going to be to have a safety net. We covered investments, we covered your living expenses, we covered you getting out of debt, and finally, I do recommend setting a sum of money that you don't touch and that you don't spend on material things, you know, such as luxury purchases, the just in case fund, because just in case something happens and you don't have any cash, that's not a good scenario. So set up a number that you feel comfortable with, maybe a number that you can leave a certain X amount of months on, and then when you have that figured out, then I think it's a good time to have some play money. And number 5, finally, the last point that I am actually still trying to master because I am not so good at it, and maybe we can work on this one together, is to have a budget. Every month, based on your income, you would know what you're spending on your living expenses. A portion of your income would be going to investments, and then maybe to some safety net, and then with whatever is left over, allocate the play money how you see fit. Maybe you'll want to go on a trip this month, or maybe you want to go get yourself a bag of your dreams. Maybe you get a call for a Birkin, and then that month you would allocate more money towards your fun luxury purchases versus, let's say, travel. So this is a part that I am still personally working on because I'm not really great at budgeting. When it comes to money, I'm more like, let's go with the flow, and you know, it doesn't, real life unfortunately doesn't work that way. So I am really trying to be smart and responsible. And the topics that I covered in this video are usually not my regular topics. I just want you to make smart financial decisions and not get yourself in debt over, you know, a Birkin bag or another bag or another luxury material purchase that you might not need in your life if you don't have a place to live, or if you have, I don't know, $30,000 of credit card debt. By all means, make a commitment to yourself to take care of those 5 things first. And then when you have it all figured out, when you're in a good place, then it's a good time to say, you know what, I'm going to reward myself with this bag. I would love to get these shoes, or, you know, this is the watch I've always wanted. So I really hope that you are financially smart and responsible before you start investing in fun, luxury bags, material stuff, and that you're taking care of yourself first. And if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn more about how you budget, because this is clearly a topic that I still need a lot of help with. So would love to know what you do, would love to know how you allocate play fun money for your bags and other purchases. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I want to educate more girlies to not make the same mistakes I did in my 20s. And also give me a follow on Instagram, because if there is a sale that is too good to miss, I will usually post it on my Instagram stories, so you will be able to save some money on luxury things. As always, with love.